with regards to their status and order, in accordance with his wisdom. 95 Al-Mu-Akir, the one who puts back whatever he wills, whatever wisdom and rectitude necessitates should be put back. 96 Al-Muhsin, the one who acts in a good and fine manner, the one such that all his actions are perfect. Al-Mu-T, the giver, the one 2297 who gives to whomever it is fitting. Should page be given. Chapter 3 Rights of Allah. Believing in Allah. Rights of Allah. Worshipping Allah alone. Shukr, Allah's rights on his servants. Having fear and hope. Allah's rights upon his creation are the loving Allah rights that must be kept the most. Allah is the sole creator and sustainer of the. In this chapter we will look into the universe. He is the Almighty who created. Details of belief in Allah. We will cover everything with absolute wisdom. Allah is worshipping Allah and the other topics in the one who initiated every being from upcoming chapters inshallah, nothing. He is the one who protects humans in their mother's wombs, as infants, as children and as adults. He, alone, sustains all humans and provides believing in Allah them with food and every aspect of life. Allah said, what translated means, and a. Testify that none has the right to Allah has brought you out from the wombs be worshipped but Allah la ilaha of your mothers while you know nothing. Allah and having Tawheed and He gave you hearing, sight and hearts. That you might give thanks to Allah. Saying and believing in the Kalima is 1678. If Allah refuses sustenance to the first pillar of Islam and also the right anyone he will be instantly destroyed, of Allah. Every Muslim knows that the key Allah's mercy is what keeps humans and to paradise is the statement, there is everything else alive. Allah's control over none worthy of worship except Allah, yet his slaves is perfect. His bounties are too many. Muslims simply rely upon this countless. If this is his role in the life of statement and believe that as long as they humans, then his rights are what one have made this statement, nothing will. Must keep the most. Allah does not need harm them. The statement of La ilaha illa sustenance from his slaves. He said, what Allah is the key to paradise, but every key translated means. We ask not of you a has riches. If you come with the key that provision, we provide it for you. And the has the right riches, the door will open for good end is for the muttaqin the ones you. Yet if you do not have the right riches who fear Allah. 20. 132 The door will not open for you. The conditions of La ilaha illallah are the of this key, and they are 23 Riches page. Al-ilm, knowledge of the meaning of books. Allah the Exalted said, verily, 2. The Shahada, its negation and affirmation him belongs the creation and the common. Blessed be Allah, the Lord of the Al-Yaqeen, certainty, perfect worlds. Al-Raf 7. 54. Knowledge of it that counteracts suspicion and doubt. Tawheed al-Uluhiyya is singling out Allah with worship so that none besides al-Qabul, acceptance that Him is worshipped, so that none besides contradicts rejection. Him is called upon, so that no one is. Al-Inshad, submission to its rightful sort for rescue, or aid except Him. So, requirements, which are the duties that no one is sacrificed to or slaughtered, must be performed with sincerity to Allah for, or made an oath for, except Him, alone seeking His pleasure. Allah the Exalted said, say, my prayer, my sacrifice, my life and my death are for Al-Siddiq, truthfulness that permits Allah, the Lord of the worlds. He has no neither falsehood nor hypocrisy partner. This is what I have been commanded with and I am the first of Al-Ikhlas, sincerity which negates those who submit to Him with ilm and shirk. Tawheed Al-An'am 6, 162, and he said, Al-Mahabba, love of the Shahada therefore turn in prayer to your Lord and its meaning, and being happy with its sacrifice to Him only. Al-Kawthar 108. 2. And Tawheed al-Asma was Sifat is describing Allah the Most High, and b. having Tawheed naming him with whatever he described and named himself with, and with the types of Tawheed are 3. Whatever his messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described and named Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, him within the authentic narrations, and Tawheed al-Ilahiyya, and to affirm that for Allah without resemblance to the creation or likening Tawheed al-Asma was Sifat, to the creation, and without false interpretation of any of that or negation of any of that. There is nothing like him. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is singling out, and he is the all-hearer, the all-seer. And Allah the Exalted with the actions of may Allah send prayers and salutations. Creation, providing sustenance, giving life, upon our Prophet Muhammad, his family causing death, and all of the types of and his companions, regulation and administration of the dominion of the heavens and earth, and 24 also singling him out, the Exalted, with right to judgment and legislation, and page the sending of the messengers and revealing c. levels of faith. He said, tell me about the hour. He said, the one who is being asked. Omar R.A. narrated, one day when we does not know more about it than the one were with the messenger of Allah, who is asking, there appeared before us a man whose he said, then tell me about its clothes were exceedingly white and his signs. He said, the slave girl will give hair was exceedingly black, and there were birth to her mistress, and you will see the no signs of travel on him, barefoot, naked, destitute herdsman. No one among us recognized him. He competing in constructing lofty buildings. Came and sat down by the Prophet, then he departed, and I stayed for and rested his knees against his, and while then he said to me, O Umar, do you place the palms on his hands on his? Know who the questioner was? I said, thighs. Allah and his messenger know best. He said, O Muhammad, tell me about said. That was Jibreel, who came to Islam, teach you your religion. The messenger of Allah said, Sahih Muslim. Islam is to testify that there is none so as defined in the Hadith. Islam has worthy of worship except Allah, and at 3 stages. Islam, Iman, and Ihsan. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, to establish regular prayer, to pay zakah, to Islam. The meaning of Islam is as fast Ramadan and to go on pilgrimage to defined by the Prophet when he was the house if you are able to. Asked by the angel Gabriel as. He said, you have spoke the truth. To testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad, and we were amazed at his asking that is his prophet. To establish the and saying that he had spoken the truth, prayers, to give the zakat, to fast the month of Ramadan, and to make. Then he said, tell me about Iman, pilgrimage to Mecca, if one is able to do faith, belief. He said, it means so, reported by Muslim and others, believing in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, and the last day, and Iman. The Prophet said that believing in Al-Qadr, the divine will, and Iman is, to believe in Allah, His angels, His decree, both good and bad. Books, to believe in meeting Him, to believe in His messengers, the resurrection. And he said, you have spoken the truth. He the predestination. Reported by Al-Said. Tell me about Ihsan. He said, Bukhari, Muslim and others, it means worshipping Allah as if you can see Him, and although you cannot see, this is the meaning of Islam and Iman. If 25 Him, He can see you, they are mentioned in one context. Page. However, if only one of them is mentioned, then each one encompasses the meaning. People. There is love of the religion of the other one. If the word Islam only is Islam, and the love of striving for the sake mentioned, it includes the meaning of Allah the Almighty as well as other Iman, and vice versa, forms of love. By the definitions of Islam and Iman, a man has to love Allah with all of his. Notice that Iman is